Well, good morning again, and welcome to beautiful Weslaco, Texas. How about this facility? Steven, this is the first time I've been in here. It's gorgeous. Beautiful facility, fairly new, as I understand. A local small business owner owns this facility, so great place to be. My name is Ron Garza. I work for UTRGV. I have the pleasure today of being your event MC, but we're about to get started. Again, welcome to beautiful Weslaco. I think, as you look around Weslaco, obviously one thing that hits you immediately is the growth, right? But one thing about beautiful Weslaco is the downtown. I think downtown Weslaco is the epitome of what the RGV small business culture is. It's walkable, it's friendly, from some of the best pan dulce to getting you boots done. I mean, the small business environment just thrives in Weslaco, and it's great to see small, medium, and large businesses thrive. So, as we're here today, one thing about this event, annually, I definitely agree that everybody that's here is going to walk away motivated. We have a variety of stakeholders from, our different vendors today, small business owners, others that just want to learn more about business. You're going to definitely leave today with a lot of information, a lot of resources, and motivated to take your business to the next level. So with that, I'm going to introduce our mayor to do our welcome. And Mayor Adrian Gonzales is a native of Weslaco. He's proud to be a son of two migrant working class parents and a father of four. He's a proud owner of South Texas Quality Foods, a partner at Monolith Consulting and First Care EMS, and understands what it is to effectively run a small business. Mayor Gonzalez's goals are focused on providing the support and resources small business owners need to accommodate the rapid growth happening in Weslaco. And we can definitely admit that the growth in Weslaco is not by accident, it's by leadership. So with that, please welcome our Weslaco Mayor, Mayor Adrian Gonzales.
Thank you, and I appreciate all those kind words. You're not lying when he says about Weslaco being the place to be and all the good food. I mean, that's why we got to put ourselves in diets sometimes. So, well, good morning and welcome to this beautiful city of Weslaco. On behalf of the City Commission, we are excited that the governor's office chose Weslaco to host this small business summit. We truly hope that each of you learn from today's panelists and get inspired to continue growing and start your businesses. As I look at, I was looking at the list of speakers. They're great people that are going to educate you and let you know how things are. For me, having a small business, I started late in the game. So I always tell people it's never too late to start and to dream and to accomplish your dreams. All it takes is hard work, dedication, and the sweat and tears. And when it comes to small businesses and that motivation, I know that I get invited a lot to different schools and different places to speak. And that's one thing that I enjoy doing because it's something true to me. Again, of course, we always say, well, start your business in Weslaco. It's the place to be. It's the center of the valley. But again, I welcome all you guys, and I know that today it's going to be a great day. And once again, I want to thank the governor's office for choosing Weslaco. So again, thank you. God bless you guys, and have a great day.
Thank you, Mayor. Next up, I want to bring up the Economic Development Director, the Executive Director for the Weslaco EDC. So most of us here know Steven Valdez. Steven is a native of Weslaco and started his career in broadcast news as a photojournalist and reporter. Then he transitioned to the public school system, being an administrator with Weslaco ISD, and managed the public access cable and then eventually the Performing Arts Center. And after 25 years in public education, the opportunity came up to serve the Weslaco EDC, and he's been at it ever since. So, you know, the world of economic development, especially with EDCs, are sometimes aggressive, sometimes very stressful, because we're all trying to make our communities grow. Not only does Stephen, you know, have the expertise as a proficient economic developer, but honestly, he does it with the most genuine, kind spirit. And that genuineness is really what helps attract so many of the businesses, and especially small businesses here to the city of Weslaco. So with that, please let us welcome our Executive Director of the EDC, Stephen Valdez.
Wow, that was very kind. Thank you so much, Ron, and thanks for helping us as the MC. When he talked about the EDC position, and he makes references to my reporter days in the early 90s, late 80s. That was black hair, now EDC white hair. So aside from that, it's been a great experience. So we are grateful that the state office the governor's office selected Weslaco as a site. We learned that they have 14 other events just like this around the state. So we thank the state office for their work and their support of small businesses around the state. Weslaco, as Ron said earlier, is the epitome of small business. In fact, the state has some amazing accolades. When you can say that the state is the 8th largest economy in the world and it's driven by small business, that's just an amazing accomplishment for all of us. So we're really in a great state. We're in a great city of Weslaco, and we're so excited to host this event. I know that our sponsors have been up, but it's important that I mention particularly the sponsors that are here today. So AEP, thank you for helping and being a sponsor. Hopefully our sponsors will get some attention throughout the day. VTX1 as well, thank you guys for sponsoring as well. Texas Regional Bank, great job. We're a great partner with that bank, and we have many great banks here in Weslaco. And so thank Texas Regional Bank as well, and Texas Workforce Commission, and of course our neighbors right next door to us. We love having the Weslaco Chamber right next door. So thank you, Barbara, and your staff for working with us. You know, the region has been growing exponentially. We have all seen that, and that's because of great leadership in the region. So if we have any elected officials that are here today, and I know they'll continue coming throughout the event, so if we can have our elected officials stand and be recognized if they are here today. Any elected officials? Okay, they might be, there you go, they're right in front of us, our city commission. Thank you so much. Our leaders here in Weslaco are so important. And I also want our EDC Board of Directors to please stand and be recognized here at the front table. I often say that leadership gives a community the greatest opportunity to be successful. And we're fortunate to have great leadership, the engagement that we have between our city leaders and our EDC leaders and all the other leaders that exist in our community. I think it's a tribute to them that we've seen our city grow the way it has. And so thank you once again for your inspiration and your direction as leaders to us as EDC staff. Speaking of staff, I also want to thank our staff for partnering with the governor's office and putting this event together. We certainly hope that the concepts that you'll be hearing about today are something that you can learn from and take home and inspire yourself as future business leaders in this community and in this region again. Of course, we are appreciative to have this great venue here as well. This is fairly new. I know that it's typically intended for quinceañeras and weddings, but they're transitioning to for more formal events and educational events like this. So we thank the venue for their support of this event as well. In closing, thank you again for choosing Weslaco, for coming to this event and learning and taking some information back with you to inspire you and encourage you to continue your supporting business. And if you are business leaders yourselves, we hope that the presentations are something that you can take home and learn from and continue to grow your business. So thank you again for joining us here in Weslaco, and have a great event. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen. Next up, I want to introduce one, and we're very fortunate to have one of our three Texas Workforce Commission commissioners here with us, Joe Esparza. So Joe Esparza currently serves as a commissioner representing employers on the Texas Workforce Commission. Governor Abbott appointed him to the 3-member commission on November 7th of 2023. And in this role, Commissioner Esparza serves as an advocate for over 660,000 Texas employers and over 3 million small businesses across the state. He and his team serve as a key resource for all the Texas employers to help them grow, build their capacity, and be sustainable. Prior to his appointment, Commissioner Esparza was sworn in as Texas Deputy Secretary of State in 2018, and he has served in other roles in Governor Abbott's administration since 2012. He's a graduate of Texas Tech University and received an honorable discharge from the United States Marine Corps from 1999 to 2007. I got to spend some time with Commissioner Esparza maybe a month or so right after his appointment, right? And just got to talk to him earlier, and he says, wow, I've learned an amazing amount of things in just a short month. So it's great to have a fresh perspective, somebody that's learning best practices all across the state, and I know he's already shared so many things that he wants to help support the Rio Grande Valley, especially small business. So with that, please let us welcome Commissioner Joe Esparza.
Good morning, everybody, and thank you all for having me here. 3 million small businesses in the state of Texas, so I mean, it's literally the backbone of our economy. I've got quite a bit of information. Unfortunately, my watch died, so give me the cut whenever if I go too long. I came down here. Actually, as a matter of fact, was here yesterday in Cameron County hosting a conference for internships. I've been all over the state of Texas. As we said, I'm basically a cheerleader and advocate for our business community and to maintain that workforce flow and to provide resources for employers. So this is a great opportunity to get in front of you, and thank you all for committing your time to come and join the summit today. Again, we have so many resources. As the commissioner representing employers on the 3-member commission, we maintain basically a constant connection with our workforce development stakeholders, with our employers, with our academic institutions, and with our EDC, our Economic Development Corporations, who are always hardworking to increase the number of jobs. We just need to make sure that there's a workforce. Briefing period, but I felt the learning curve that I've been able to quickly shorten has been helpful by my communication with our workforce boards and our stakeholders, especially our employers. We work with the employers so that they can tell us where what's coming down on the horizon. So we need to make those changes as we're moving through. I know, is there anybody from Esparza Pest Control here today? I know there's one here. I follow them. I think we're distant cousins, but it's always been my goal to get a hat while I'm down here for those guys. So I follow them on Instagram and comment. So one of these days, great family company. You might see their trucks running around. But let me get back to the employer resources that our office provides. I quickly learned when I joined the office that we maintain a support system through mostly our unemployment tax cases. We've got some educational material about that. This is, when we're talking about small businesses, not every small business is able to have a dedicated HR department. That's where we kind of help, and we want to be able to make sure that you know that this resource is available. We've got unemployment and employment law and labor attorneys that are there. We man a hotline. These are just a lot of the things I was pretty impressed that we support. But mostly, we also provide what's called a Texas Guidebook for Employers. I've got this little thing. I'm gonna leave them over here with our tax commission or our commission department, and I think we've got our vocational rehabilitation folks over here as well. That I'm going to send this information for. Has great links to a guidebook that helps you navigate employment issues with your employees, HR. It's a great way to keep your workforce keep your workforce happy and retained. But also, the more information that you have now about these issues, the better you are and the better you save money later down the road in case any kind of unemployment cases come up that have to be put into claims. That raises your tax burden. We want to make sure that you're aware how that system works. So we also put on our Texas Conference for Employers. And this is 16 to 18 different small, medium, and large metropolitan areas that we put these conferences on. It's a day conference. It's on a Friday. There is a registration fee. I think it's close to $200. But again, this is a full day of labor code best practices. You get the guide. There's a guidebook that you can download for free, but you get a manual and you can write up and take notes on. I was pretty impressed the first time I went to this conference. I quickly learned that long before I had this job, that I was actually misclassified into a contractor when I thought I should have been an employee, and that's kind of where we educate you on the designation of what it is. And I was like, hey, I was misclassified. That when I had to pay all that tax money at the end of the year that I wasn't aware of, I was like, I got done wrong there. So it's a great educational experience. Again, I think there's one locally. We try to move into every region of the state of Texas. We've got one locally. It'll be in Cameron County in September. And again, as I was watching some of these our attorneys give these educational speeches and kind of instructions, there was somebody that came up to me and said, just wish we would have known this 8 years ago. Learned so much here. And they said it was definitely worth the registration, which we take that money and we put on we actually use that for those conferences. And then somebody told me to be quiet because we were talking too loud in the back, and I was like, okay, we'll go. But those conferences are all over the state. Again, September 27th, off the top of my head, in Cameron County is going to be the one for this region. And I think more than likely if we don't have one locally, it'll be the next year coming up. That employer hotline, it's 1-800-832-9394. You call that during business hours. You'll speak to one of our attorneys. They'll give you guidance. I need to say guidance. They're attorneys, so they can't give you legal advice, some binding legal thing, but it's called guidance. But we also have a great newsletter that we put out that gives you tips and kind of coming in. So all this information, again, please find this information at one of our Workforce Commission desks. And I hate to be rude, I'm trying to catch up on a schedule today, but I'll leave my number. I would love to answer any questions that y'all may have. My card will be over there. You'll have my email and my cell phone number on there too, so you'll just pick it up. I always want to connect people with solutions if they have issues and they have problems. And I'm never the smartest person in the room, obviously, but I do know who those smart people are. Another thing, more resources from the Workforce Commission. We facilitate grants to increase skills, to raise the skill levels of the population. And again, thanks for all the work you're doing with the task force, with Judge Cortez, with the Prosperity Task Force. I'm very, very interested in maintaining that communication with the community here, and to see that Judge Cortez's his goals are met to increase just economic prosperity here in the Rio Grande Valley and Hidalgo and the Lower Rio Grande. We're also very connected with our local workforce board. Frank Alvarez with the Lower Rio Workforce Solutions Board. Those lower boards or the local boards do all the work. Really, they do all the work. They're the front line for all of the employee and employer support that can be provided. So we want to make sure that they're maintaining all the stuff they need to get the job done when it comes to working with the economic development for the system. Like I said yesterday, I was in town to push an initiative for internships. And this is kind of our priority. One of my priorities is to continue to increase that pipeline, but more or less get involved in the emerging workforce that is your high school kids that are coming out of college or coming out of high school and maybe going to college, maybe getting into a skills trade. We want to make sure that they're educated and that they know that there is several paths to economic prosperity, and getting into the workforce immediately, and getting a good job is generational, is changing on a generational wealth standpoint. There's plenty of opportunities, and again, a lot of resources here in the Rio Grande Valley to keep people here locally and getting them trained and filling all these great jobs that are happening and all these great jobs you guys are creating. Off the top of my head, I think I've kind of hit all the major points. One of the grants I do want to highlight, and again, it's on this little pamphlet here, is our grant that's called Skills for Small Businesses. So this is dedicated to small business, and we estimate a small business with fewer of 100 employees that can apply to this grant. And this involves new training for your workforce that are newly hired. That basically, I think it's run around to $1,800 per new hire, or up to $900 for somebody who's an incumbent, so somebody who's already working for you. And this is a grant that helps you raise the skills of your employees. Pretty much anything that you see on the course catalog at the community colleges or at UTRGV is up for game. It's up for grabs for those types of classes. So get in and learn about those grants, utilize them, and take advantage of them. It's not my money, it's your money. It's the taxpayer dollars. It's federal dollars that come in and enable us to bring people up into prosperity. So, with that, again, like I said, I'm going to leave my contact information at the tax desk over there with the Workforce Commission. Please contact us. Contact me personally if we can do anything for you and keep you in business. So, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. And again, Commissioner Esparza is one of only 3 commissioners in the entire Texas Workforce Commission. I know he's in his fairly short tenure. He's already made several trips to the Valley, so definitely a road warrior. He's on the road a lot, and then I think he put the challenge out there. The first person to get him in an Esparza pest control hat gets a prize. So. You got homework. So with that, our final welcome of this morning is from the Office of the Governor's Economic Development and Tourism Division, which is definitely key to putting on this event. So I'd like to bring up Jarvis Brewer, which is a small business advocate. Jarvis is from Corsicana, Texas, and growing up in an entrepreneurial household, Jarvis understands the challenges that small business encounters on a daily basis. Jarvis is a graduate of UT Austin, as well as a U.S. Navy veteran, having served in Operation Iraqi Freedom and Operation Enduring Freedom as a member of the Naval Special Warfare. His varied experience throughout his career definitely helps him support small businesses, and as Jarvis, in his role, serves as a principal focal point for assisting small and historically underutilized business. And again, Jarvis knows the Valley very well. He's here at least annually, if not more. So with that, please let us welcome our small business advocate, Jarvis Brewer.
Well, thank you, Ron, for that nice welcome. As Ron mentioned, my name is Jarvis Brewer. I'm the small business advocate within the Office of the Governor. And my script here says that it is my privilege and pleasure on behalf of the Office of Governor to welcome you here today. But I'm coming out of Austin, so how can I welcome you? So I want to thank you all for welcoming us from Austin into Weslaco. As he mentioned, I am here quite often, and every time I come here, and the reason why I come here is because I always get fed good every time I'm in the Valley. So thank you all. I was on a diet. Brian can attest to this. I was on a diet coming in here. I was like, I can wait, Maybe when we get back from Weslaco, I can start that diet again. Anyways, first I would like to thank, as Stephen did earlier, I want to thank our partners and sponsors of this event. We have the Weslaco Economic Development Corp. We have the Texas Workforce Commission. We have AEP Texas. We have VTX1 Internet and Texas Regional Bank, as well as the Weslaco Area Chamber of Commerce. So thank you all once again for your contributions to this event. Thank you all for supporting our efforts to reach out to local entrepreneurs by traveling to their communities and assisting them in building strong businesses right here in Weslaco. That further reiterates that small businesses are the backbone of our state's economy. I'd also like to recognize, as I pointed to Brian Roller, our other members of our Office of the Governor team. So we have Brian Roller, who's hiding behind that banner right there. Brian is actually, he's our small business team's event coordinator. So he leads all the efforts in planning this event, as well as 14 other that will be held this year across the state. Also over on the wall over there, we have Mallory McCoy. If you do not know Mallory, I highly recommend you introduce yourself. Mallory is our South Texas Regional Representative, so she is our liaison, your liaison, to our office for all economic development matters. So with that, I also want to recognize our resource providers. And you'll see those listed here in like a little scrolling marquee. Okay, that's enough of that.
Governor Greg.
I apologize. As you can see, all of those resource providers are along the walls here. Definitely encourage you to interact with those resource providers throughout this event. There are going to be structured breaks throughout today where you can engage with the different agencies that are here today. With that, you may have saw my boss show up momentarily, so we'll hear a few words from our Governor, Greg Abbott.
Hi, this is Governor Greg Abbott. Welcome to the 2023 Office of the Governor Small Business Summit. Thank you all for taking part in this exciting event that celebrates and encourages small businesses in Texas. There are more than 3 million small businesses in our state, and they employ nearly half of all Texans. Small businesses are the backbone of our state's booming economy, and they offer success for every Texan across our state. We're the top state for jobs created by Hispanic women business owners, Black business owners, and veteran business owners. Texas is home to the lowest business operating cost, which is why so many entrepreneurs come to our state to find the freedom and opportunity they just cannot get elsewhere. So thank you to all of the small business owners for your investment in Texas. Together, Texas is the best state to live, raise a family, and to grow a business. May God bless you in your efforts, and may God forever bless the great state of Texas. Hi.
Thank you, Jarvis. I was just going over some notes here because now is the time for some announcements, and we'll be taking a quick break before we transition to our panels of the day. So again, today is a day full of resources. Please engage yourself not only in listening to the panels and our keynote speaker, but want to take advantage of all the amazing resources that you'll be exposed to today. And not only you, absorb these resources and please be an ambassador and share these resources, because every small business could use resources to help build their capacity. So all the events today happen in this room, this beautiful facility. The event concludes today at 1:30. Restrooms are in the back corner over there. And again, one other announcement, there'll be headshots throughout the day. So for those that need a refreshed headshot or those that like to use it for marketing purposes, please take advantage of the free headshots in the back of the room. Again, we're going to be having 3 panels. So to give you a lay of land, after a quick break, about a 5-minute break, we'll transition to 3 panels, and then we'll come back and hear from our Texas A&M Regent, Mr. Hernandez, while we're having lunch. So it'll be a plated lunch today, catered, and then we'll end the day with our awards presentation. Again, we can't thank you enough for being here today. It's going to be a tremendous amount of information. So sit back, relax. We're going to transition about a 5-minute break to bring up the first panel that's going to feature the ins and outs of women-owned businesses and success stories from specifically women-owned businesses. So with that, one last thing, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention back in the resource fair on one of those tables is all the UTRGV. So I oversee what's called the Office of Workforce and Economic Development with UTRGV. Very rare for universities to have such a suite of community-facing resources, like Small Business Development Center. We have specialties in, commercialization, in our certificate-based programs, our Texas Manufacturing Assistance Center. So we're very proud of our UTRGV resources, so please take advantage of that and help us spread the word. So with that, stretch your legs, about a 5-minute break, and then we'll invite our moderator and our panelists up for the first panel. Thank you.